I don't know what's up with this shit, bro. Right? This shit is crazy, bro. I don't like this device, bro. I try to use it. I was trying to use it for, for my YouTube lives so that I can minimize what I use this shit for. But apparently, since it wants to update, it's being stupid. So whatever, Mr. Shadow, you back, bro? You back? I switched the device, bro. I'm not using this shit, bro. I don't know what's up with this thing, bro. I'm about to throw this shit out the window, bro. Right? This shit sucks. Let's see if turning it off and on works, bro. All right, Mr. Shadow. I'm sure you've been keeping up with current events, right? Anybody on Facebook, y'all been keeping up with current events. Y'all saw what they discovered at the pyramids. What have you been up to? I'm chilling, bro. I've been chilling, bro. You know, uh, yesterday was Sunday, bro. I did my live yesterday, and I just chilled out the rest of the day, bro. Basically, I was catching up on sleep. Remember, man, Friday I got home at 1:30 in the morning, and I stood up all night, bro. I was up all night, bro. I did my live. I went on my journey. I ain't go to sleep till probably like 4 o'clock the next day, bro. Saturday. I ain't go to sleep till like 4 in the afternoon. So I caught up on sleep. I slept a little bit Saturday. I slept a little bit more Sunday. And then today I woke up and broke out, bro. When I was out on the bar and I came back. I was like, yo, I ain't do my live yet. Let me go do my live, bro. So, I'm gonna do my live. So they discovered these I got it's a cool mint vape, bro. It's a fogger, bro. These things, they sell these vapes out here that come apart, bro. Like this is the battery right here, bro. So you could smoke the vape without the battery, right? And you could just buy the vape, right? So the set is 30, and then they sell these for 20. So when they run out, you just buy another one, right? And you can just keep the battery. So my boy Garrison put me up on these. I used to buy the throwaways, but these are better. I'm about to quit vaping, bro. I should have quit vaping a long time ago. I did quit cigarettes, bro. I don't smoke Newports. Unable to check for update. This iPad makes no sense, bro. Oh, the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi was acting up yesterday, bro. I don't know why it was happening, bro, but whatever, right? So I'm gonna have to get the message on here. So, Mr. Shadow, I saw this video yesterday that they discovered these. Why not just stick to cards and stuff like that? What you mean cards, bro? What you mean cards, bro? They don't sell tobacco in carts, right? They sell marijuana in carts, bro, not tobacco. uh, all right, hold on, bro. I saw a message that came out yesterday that I really wanted to watch, bro, and I didn't watch it, bro. I don't remember, right? I don't remember which. Well, actually, it wasn't from. So I'm gonna give this message from the Arcturians. So I'm gonna give this message from the Arcturians, bro. This is gonna be this is channeled by Brianna B. And we'll get into that later, bro. So, Mr. Shadow, THCA. I got one of those, bro. I got one. I bought it in Chicago. I still got this shit. Hold on. Look, bro. This is that THC Delta shit, bro. THCA, whatever you call it, bro. But this is it. I bought this when I was in no, I'm sorry. I bought this in Kansas City, Missouri, bro. I bought this in Kansas City, bro. The six pillars under the pyramids, taller than yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. So they discovered these pillars underneath these pyramids, bro. Now, I do want to talk about this, right? Because the image that I seen on my television, bro, was these fucking big, humongous, long pillars, bro, holding up the pyramids, right? Look, they're holding up the pyramids. So what does this tell me? What does this tell me, bro? Right? My pillars. Bro, what does this tell me, bro, about these energy centers, bro? You know, I was talking about this maybe a year ago, bro. I was telling you guys, oh, Mr. Shadow, I was telling you that I saw this diagram of the pyramids. Remember, I was telling you how I saw this diagram and how I believe it somehow, some way receives energy and stores the energy at the bottom. I remember talking about this, and I was telling you guys that I believe these pyramids somehow, some way create and store energy. Right, and, you know, I really didn't have much but a diagram that I found, right, and it didn't really show much. It was really plain drawing. It was a plain drawing, but I understood the concept of what they were trying to explain to me, bro. So with that said, bro, them discovering these pillars, right, and you know, these shits are really store the energy at, bro. Think about it. If the bottom of the pillars with the ground level where people walked. And these pyramids were way the fuck up there, bro. Right? Think about how much dirt they had to put there to bury that shit, bro. Like, you know. So I just got to thinking about all the pyramids all around the world. You know, there's a lot of pyramids all around the world, bro. There's pyramids underwater. There's pyramids underneath there. Like, they buried all of them. Now, what this brings me, you know, my new belief, you know, my new theory about these pyramids is, you ever seen the full-size crystals? You ever seen the full-size crystal tower, bro? You know how they sell them little crystal towers? Let me see if I got one, bro. I don't think I got one, bro. But they sell them little crystal towers. You could buy them shits, bro. Something like this. Something like this, right? You see this little crystal tower? You see this little crystal tower, bro? You see the top of it, bro? You see the top of the crystal tower? It looks like a pyramid. You see the top of the crystal tower? It looks like a pyramid. Okay. Let's just imagine for a second, bro, that this is one of the pyramids, bro. I mean, it's really small, bro. All right, I got a better one. I got an actual pyramid, bro. I got an actual pyramid. This is a crystal, right? This is the, you know, the flower life crystal. So, this is the top of the pyramid, bro. Right? You got these pillars underneath water erosion on the Sphinx. You think that's water erosion, or are you talking about the nose? Are you talking about the nose, or is there actual water erosion over there? You know what I'm saying? Because I believe they destroyed the noses off our statues on purpose, bro. I think they did that shit on purpose, bro. But with that said, this is a crystal. This is the top of a pyramid. I mean, all right, this is a pyramid. This is not the top of it, but this is a pyramid. Now, underneath this, you know, this said pyramid, I don't have nothing to really show you, bro. I don't got nothing. All right, I got this, right? This is going to be one of the pillars, bro, right? This is one of the pillars, bro. You got, you know, so many of them underneath this crystal pyramid. Now, what do they do? What are they used for? Are they, you know, do they store energy too? Right? the side of it. Okay, I have to see what you're talking about. That would be a capstone. Now my belief is that the pyramid takes off away from those pillars. It goes, bro. Or all right, not the whole pyramid, but let's just say the top part. The pyramid is in sections. So my belief, because I've seen this before, is the very very tip top of the pyramid, a little small section of this part comes off of the pyramid and can fly away, bro. Listen to me, it can fly away, bro, like a UFO, right? And then it come back and then set itself back on the pyramid, right? And I really believe that these pyramids are capable of doing this, bro. Right? So we're finding out a lot of new information, and I'm waiting to see if they actually uncover these pillars. I want to see if they unbury them, bro. Like I want to see what's down there. I want to know what's inside of them. I was hearing about some dude that lives in Egypt who gatekeeps all the pyramids over there. He doesn't allow people in those pyramids, bro. He only allows select few. I've heard that if you were a true researcher or somebody who really was really digging for real information, he won't let you in there, bro. But if you're somebody who just wants to go in there and take selfies, he'll let you in there, right? It's some weird shit. But they gatekeeping these places because they don't want us to, discover anything new down there. If everything I'm reading about is true, and all these tunnels that are underneath, that we didn't know about these tunnel systems that are underneath the dirt, bro. And these tunnels lead to new civilizations. These tunnels lead us to new worlds, bro. They don't want you to discover these worlds. They don't want you to discover these civilizations. This is why they don't let you in these places, bro. But imagine if you were just allowed to freely explore in these places, you would go down and you would never come back because you would discover new civilizations down there, whole new worlds that you didn't even know existed, bro. It would be like going through a portal, bro. The part you're holding will sit on top of a bigger pyramid. Correct, Mr. Shadow. I was just trying to give an example of what I was holding in my hand, right? And how a little portion of it, the very tip, could detach and fly away. You know what I'm saying? Because look, I was talking about this shit roughly a year ago. A year ago, nobody knew what the fuck pyramids were for, bro. Everybody assumed they were just tombs, right, for dead people. But I always told you guys, I believe their energy, bro. They store energy. They create energy somehow, bro. And not only that, but they do a lot more than that. We just don't know that. Like, think about all the openings, the cutouts, the windows, how everything's aligned with the stars, bro. Everything is aligned with the stars, bro. How the fuck did they build that, bro? If somebody wasn't up there going a little bit this way, a little bit that way, right? There had to be somebody up there, bro. Right? So think about that, bro. So, I was talking about this a year ago. Now, I really believe that these pyramids are just the very top of the crystal energy centers, right? Remember, we had a lot of these energy centers all around the world, bro. And this is how, we tapped in. We tapped in with these energy centers, bro. You could say these was our satellites. This is our communication lines, right? These energy centers, bro. And I believe these pyramids represent those energy centers, bro. And there are a lot of them, bro. There are thousands of pyramids in the world, bro. You're unaware of it. Just like they're discovering all these pyramids on Mars, right? Like how they get there, right? Now I heard a story saying that giants came from Mars to help us build the pyramids here, right? And how they come here, bro, right? They seen they actually projected. They actually projected themselves over here to help us build the pyramids. This is a story I heard, bro. They are old ships from my time. I wouldn't call them old ships, Mr. Shadow. I would call them new ships because even though it dates back thousands of years in history when these things were built, they're still far more advanced than we are, bro. They're way more, like, we don't even know how to use these shits, bro. You understand? That's how far advanced they are ahead of us, bro. But we went back in time, we actually went back in time. We went back to caveman days and we started over. This is how they got us to get all these devices now that they can monitor. They can monitor everything you do with this, bro. Without this, they can't monitor you, bro. You understand? This is why they got rid of the energy centers. This is why they got rid of the pyramids, right? And they only kept select few deactivated because we can't let them know that they can communicate with their minds. We can't monitor them that way, bro. I know how to use them. Ain't telling though. I know how to use it too. I just got to get in there, bro. I told you, once I get myself to a pyramid, it's over, bro. It's over, bro. right? I know how to drive these shits. They already taught me, bro. I already had a thorough lesson on activating the pyramids, bro. You understand? Mushrooms teach me a lot, bro. Right? So, yeah, so they were saying that these giants actually projected to Earth and was helping us build these pyramids, right? And, I got to thinking about this, and I'm like, they astral projected, bro. I don't think they astral projected. I think they came over here, right? I would more or less say they came over here, bro. So, what else, bro? What else? What else, bro? What else, bro? I think what we're gonna discover about these pyramids, like somebody's gonna go down there, fuck around, and power one of them shits up, bro. Right? If I don't make it through one, bro, eventually somebody's gonna get in there and turn one of them bitches on, bro. Because I can't be the only one learning how to do this shit, bro. Right? So, what else? I'm about to go foraging. We're about to go foraging, bro. She wanted to go yesterday, but I was like, yo, bro, I was dancing all day Saturday, bro. Oh, I was dancing all night Friday night, right? I was literally dancing all night Friday night, bro. So I was like, no, I'm not about to go climb a mountain right now, bro. You crazy, bro. Like, my legs hurt, bro. I need to rest, bro. She was ready to go. She had a book bag on all the time. I was like, where the fuck we going? We going to climb a mountain? No, we not, bro. My legs hurt, bro. I was dancing, bro. Different knowledge passed down from different ways. I think once I get in there, I could probably decode a lot of those hieroglyphs, bro. Because I understand the pictures that they sent me. I understand the images they sent me. Like, once you connect to these hieroglyphs, they're gonna give you feelings and emotions, and you just gotta know how to decipher them, bro. It's not hard to do, bro. So look, all right. One thing I did want to talk about. This is gonna help a lot of people, bro. Listen to me. I know the other day I was teaching you how to meditate, how to ask with your heart, right? If you guys watch my channel, you should be keeping up with these things, right? So the other day I was teaching you how to meditate with your heart, how to open your heart, and how to gain control of it. Now, what I want to teach you is a basic meditation, right? Because there's a lot of people who never tried to do this before. And there's a lot of people who just don't know what to do. They think they're meditating, but they're not meditating because you're not doing things properly. So there's not really a clear set of instructions online on how to do this shit, bro. Because you gotta remember, any information that we give out that's good, they always find a way to ruin it, bro. Right? So I'm gonna go ahead and teach you guys real quick what I did when I first started meditating, bro. So I did watch a lot of videos on how to meditate, right? But all they really did was confuse me, bro, because everybody got a different way. Everybody says you should do this or you shouldn't do this. And while this person says it's great to do this, this person says it's not, right? So you get conflicting information, which makes it difficult for you to learn. So what I learned was, to take what resonates, right? Which means take what you feel is the right thing to do. Now, it may not be the right thing to do, but how would you know unless you gave it a shot? So with that said, I sat Indian style. I turned off my TV. I turned off anything that was making noise, bro. Right? And I sat down Indian style on the floor, palms up, right? Palms up on my knees, right? Back straight. I had my back straight, right? And I did my best to just clear my mind, right? I did my best to clear my mind because you're gonna sit there and you're gonna think. Your mind's gonna start running at 1,000, right? And if you're anything like me, your mind never stops. So you need to find a way to stop it. If you could stop your mind from thinking and just clear it, bro, this is gonna bring you into a moment of stillness, bro. Now, when you're in this moment of stillness and you realize that you're in this moment of stillness, you can ask a question. You can ask a question, hey, what am I? Right? Or God, can I see you? Or aliens, can I meet you? Like whatever you want, bro. Or, just ask. As soon as you notice that there's nothing going on, ask the question. Right? Ask the question. Keep meditating, bro. But ask the question. You don't gotta ask it 3 times, 4 times. Ask it one time and let it go. You don't have to say it, you can think it. Just let it go. It's gonna go out. Right? Continue to meditate, bro. Now, some people have a problem sitting still. Some people have a problem sitting still for a long time. So what I recommend is 5 minutes. If you're just now starting, if this is your first time ever trying this, 5 minutes, bro. 5 minutes of your time. You understand? This is time you're giving to God, bro. So understand it's not going in vain, bro. You're giving it to God, bro. God loves you, bro. He wants you to connect to him. So with that, you set your intent and then you wait for the response. Now, you may not get it. And if you feel like you sat there for 5 minutes and you don't feel like sitting there no more, it's okay. Break your meditation. Try again tomorrow or try again later on today. Just make sure you try again, right? And go with the same intent. Keep the same intent, bro. Make sure you feel that shit you really want to know. And make sure you're excited about it. You have to feel good about it, bro. Don't feel like it's a chore. It's not a chore. Now, how do I know I meditated correctly? There's this thing called a loading screen. Now, people's loading screens may vary, right? Because it's in your imagination. It's whatever you create to be your loading screen. So in my mind, I created the universe. I created outer space, right? So whenever I'm in the loading screen, I'm floating through outer space. I'm flying through outer space. I'm doing something in outer space, but this is confirmation for me that I made it to the loading screen. Right. So now it's just a matter of waiting until I enter whatever realm they're going to put me in. Right. So this is how you know you're doing it the right way because you will always have some kind of experience. Now, sometimes you may just stay in the loading screen and you don't go anywhere, but you could sit there and explore outer space, which is just as fun, bro. Right. You're still, you're in meditation because you're in a different place, bro. You're not in, you're not here. You're not here. Right. You come back. And this is how you know you've done a successful meditation, bro. Right? Because you should always have an experience. Now, sometimes you're going to go on the loading screen and you're just going to stay on the loading screen. You're not going to go anywhere from there. And don't take that as a bad sign. You still went to the loading screen. Why don't you practice that more? Get to the loading screen more. The more you practice, the easier it gets. You understand? So, with that said, it's difficult at first because you have to sit still and you have to sit in silence. But once you practice and become good at it, you can start to meditate while you do things. Like, maybe I don't have to sit down. Maybe I can walk around and meditate, which, yes, you can. You can. I'm here to tell you, yes, you can, bro. You can walk around and meditate. You could work and meditate. You could drive and meditate. Like, you could take a shower and meditate. You don't have to go sit to meditate. You can actually do this as you live your life. However, it requires practice because you need to know how to get to that state. It's a state, bro. So you need to practice getting confirmation. You need to practice getting to that state of meditation and know what it feels like, know the experience, so that when you're driving or something and you just go, oh shit, I should try to meditate. Leave your awareness driving, but go meditate, bro. You understand? Your awareness is going to be driving for you, and you're going to be in meditation. You understand? And you'll know because you'll be on the loading screen. You'll be on the loading screen, bro, all right? But you'll be driving. It's weird. It's weird as fuck, but you can do it. And once you know how to do this, you're mastering the art of meditation because you learn how to meditate while you're on the go. Well, you don't have to sit in stillness no more. You can actually just live your life and meditate several times throughout the day like I do. I meditate several times. Right? I always got a question or I always just say thank you, right? Or just to let them know that I missed them. Right? But either way, I go into meditation. So it took practice. It took years of practice, bro. So if you're gonna start with 5 minutes, and gradually increase the time. If you find yourself getting somewhere, it's gonna make you more excited to go back. And once you start to get these out of body experiences, bro, you're gonna say, "Holy shit, bro! I can really do that." You're gonna turn that television off. You're gonna turn off that video game system because why the fuck am I playing this or why am I watching this when I can actually go somewhere, bro? And you're gonna learn how to go. And you're gonna learn about the astral realms, right? You're gonna learn how people go there. You're gonna learn about all this shit, bro. Right? It's gonna be new, different, and exciting, bro. So yeah, so practice meditation. It's nothing. Look, nothing's gonna be easy, bro. It's not. It's gonna be difficult. It's gonna take patience. It's gonna take determination, dedication. Because you're gonna be like I'm bored, right? Or why nothing's happening. You're gonna be impatient and understand God requires patience, bro. So if you really love yourself, you'll give yourself that time, right? That time to learn. Be patient with yourself, right? And tell yourself you can do better, you can be better, and you will be better, bro. I promise you, bro. So I'm Tia Taurus. I'll speak with you now. There's a great unraveling taking place in your world. The collapse of what many had called the deep state control matrix. For a very long time, hidden forces has kept advanced technologies and knowledge secret in order to maintain control over the population. We want to share with you that these major hidden technology caches are now being reclaimed by those aligned with the light, often known as the white hats. Among the most significant of these rediscovered technologies is the weather modification technology that has been used to manipulate your planetary conditions. These tools of control will soon be fully in the hands of benevolent forces who will ensure they can no longer be misused to create fear or imbalance from a higher dimensional perspective. However, the most powerful force in this collapse of the old matrix is not technology or any external event at all. It is you, the awakened souls and starseeds on Earth, generating a tremendous acceleration in the collective consciousness. In fact, you are raising the frequency of the collective at nearly 10 times the previous rate, compounding each week as more individuals awaken and step into their power. This exponential growth, both in awareness and high vibrational energy, is the true divine force behind the dismantling of the old control systems. It is your inner work, your dedication to love and truth that is causing the old paradigm to crumble from within. We wish to guide you through an understanding of how this transformation unfolds, from the personal level outward to the global stage. The breakdown of the control matrix is not occurring through the external conflict of war, but through the internal shifts in consciousness. The journey truly begins within each individual who chooses to awaken. As each of you aligns with your soul and higher self, you reclaim your energetic sovereignty and influence the reality around you in profound ways. In this transmission, we will explore how a personal awakening contributes to the collective timeline shifts, the fluid nature of this ascension process, and the beautiful planetary transformation you are co-creating. We will also speak about staying in vibrational alignment amidst external change and how responding from soul level, knowing rather than reacting in fear, is key in this time of fluid timelines and rapid disclosure. In the journey of personal awakening, you come to realize that everything begins with your own vibration and state of consciousness. Timeline fluidity means the future is not set in stone. There are numerous potential timelines or versions of reality coexisting, and you will align with the one that matches your frequency. This is why vibrational alignment is so important. When you maintain a high vibration, one of love, clarity, and inner peace, you naturally gravitate toward the timelines where solutions unfold smoothly and the collapse of old systems happens with grace and contrast. If you fall into fear or anger, you may find yourself experiencing a more tumultuous version of events. You are constantly shifting timelines individually based on how you choose to be in each moment. Awakening your sovereign self means recognizing that you are not a victim of external events. You have the ability to self-regulate your reactions and choose a conscious response that aligns with your soul. There's a great difference between reacting and responding. A reaction is often immediate and fueled by old programming. For example, panic or outrage at something you see in the news. A response, however, comes from your soul level. Knowing and inner wisdom might mean pausing, take a deep breath, and sense that your higher self knows before you speak or act. When you respond from this sense of place, you remain in your power. You are no longer controlled by the drama unfolding around you. And in this way, you reclaim your freedom from the control matrix at a personal level. Being sovereign in your energy also involves setting healthy boundaries for your consciousness. This means choosing where you focus your attention and what energies you allow into your field. As part of energetic sovereignty is deciding not to give in to the fear-based narratives that may still be circulating. Yes, many shocking truths will emerge as part of the disclosure process, but you can observe these revelations without losing your center. Remember, you are anchored in a deeper truth. The external soul that you are, from that anchored place, you can witness external events without feeling destabilized, standing in your light unshaken by the winds of change. In doing so, you help stabilize the collective energy, as your calm presence creates a positive ripple effect. As you continue to awaken and trust your inner guidance, you undergo what we call light body integration. This is a natural process where your physical body and energy body begin to hold more of the higher dimensional light. You may notice changes within yourself. Perhaps you feel more sensitive to energies, more intuitive, or you experience waves of emotion that arise to be cleared. These are signs that you are integrating your fifth dimensional self. Your light body, the part of you existing in 5D and above, is anchoring into your physical form. It is important to lovingly support your body through this process with rest, hydration, nourishing food, and time in nature. Each of you who integrate more light is literally anchoring higher frequencies on Earth, making it easier for others to follow you. Become a beacon of light, a lighthouse of fifth dimensional frequency shining in the midst of third dimensional circumstances. An essential aspect of claiming your sovereignty is releasing any remaining savior programming you might carry. Many of you have been taught to look outside yourselves for salvation, whether it be looking to governments, religious figures, or even extraterrestrial beings to rescue you from the problems of Earth. In the new energy, you are learning to let go of this savior archetype programming. You are not here to be saved by someone else. You are here to awaken to your own divine power and co-create the new reality. We and many other helpers are here to assist you, but not to do it all for you. As you relinquish the idea that you need saving, you regain the understanding that you are a creator, being, an aspect of source. This realization is incredibly empowering as it transforms you from a passive participant to an active conscious creator in the unfolding divine plan when enough individuals release the savior mentality, the collective can fully shift from a hierarchy of power over others to a unity of power from within. Each being, as more individuals step into their sovereignty and radiate their light, the effect on the collective consciousness is exponential. You have heard us mention that the starseeds and light bearers are accelerating the collective awakening at nearly tenfold rates and this is indeed the case each week. More souls awaken or deepen their awakening. This compounds the overall frequency of the human collective. What this means is that the timelines available to humanity as a whole are shifting rapidly. Disclosure and truth unveiling are not happening in a slow, linear trickle. They are poised to surge forward in non-linear leaps as the vibration of the population reaches certain thresholds. One moment it may seem that the old power still holds sway, and the next moment a key piece of hidden information comes to light that changes everything. This is the nature of the times you are living in. Expect the unexpected, and know that breakthroughs can happen in the blink of an eye. When the energy supports them, the collapse of the old matrix is a process that is well underway, now fueled by these rising frequencies because timelines are fluid. There are many possible scenarios for how the breakdown of old systems and the emergence of new ones can play out. In some timelines, the transition is smoother and more peaceful. In others, there is more collective chaos and resistance. Your collective vibrational alignment will determine which scenario you move into. This is why we continue to emphasize the importance of choosing love over fear, compassion over judgment. Every time when each one of you makes the higher choice, it tips the scales towards the peaceful timeline. Imagine millions of you doing this consciously. It creates an energetic momentum that remaining control structures simply cannot withstand. The control matrix is fundamentally an energy grid built on fear, deception, and division. When enough human beings disengage from that fear and stand in unity, in truth, the entire matrix loses its power source and collapses under its own weight. This collapse comes from within the collective. It is not brought about by an invading force or violent revolution, but by a widespread awakening of hearts and minds. You will notice in the coming times that many long hidden truths will surface in the public awareness. This includes revelations about how certain technologies and programs were used to manipulate populations. For example, humanity will come to understand how weather modifications technology was employed covertly to influence events and create distress, as well as the extent of surveillance and energy suppression that has been in place. As these truths emerge, it is natural that there will be shock and even anger among the masses who were unaware. Here is where your presence as awakened beings is most needed. You will be called to hold a frequency of stability and compassion as others process these revelations. Rather than getting pulled into anger or blame, you can help others see that these unveilings are a necessary part of healing and moving forward. Trust must come to light so that all can be transformed. And remember, the non-linear acceleration of these disclosures means that what might have taken decades in a denser energy can now unfold in a much shorter period. You have collectively sped up the timeline by doing the inner work, and thus the outer events will likewise speed up. Throughout this process, know that you are not alone, and you have many allies on and off the planet. There are galactic councils and federations of light observing your ascension with great care and love. We, the Council of Five, are among many star family groups, Palladians, Syrians, and Andromedas, and others supporting you with energetic transmissions to awaken and inspire humanity, as well as gently guiding those benevolent leaders on the front lines. While we honor your free will and cannot intervene overtly, we are assisting in subtle ways to keep your ascension on track and prevent any extreme detours. Take comfort that your planet's liberation is of tremendous importance on the galactic level. You are held in immense love and admiration by your cosmic family as you carry out this courageous transformation. Remember also that we can assist you even more when you consciously invite our help. It is a collaboration with your free will, with the old control matrix losing its grip. You stand on the cusp of a magnificent planetary transformation. This transformation is not about replacing one set of external authorities with another, but rather about creating an entirely new way of being on Earth. You are collectively dreaming a new Earth into existence, an Earth anchored in fifth dimensional consciousness where unity, transparency, and compassion from the foundation of society. In this form the foundation of society. And this emerging reality, technologies, and systems that were once used to suppress will be repurposed to uplift and heal. Imagine free energy devices providing power without pollution, or cost-advanced healing modalities curing diseases that were once thought incurable, and weather stabilization technology, ensuring that extreme climate events can no longer be weaponized against populations. These possibilities are not far-fetched science fiction. They are part of the timeline you are moving into as you raise your vibration. The key is that their implementation will be guided by awakened consciousness and love rather than greed or control. As the white hats and benevolent leaders bring these hidden resources into the light, it will be up to the collective to use them wisely in the spirit of service to all. The collapse of old institutions opens up space for new structures to be built from a higher level of awareness. This is where co-creation comes fully into play. Instead of looking to a few elite individuals to design your world, humanity will engage in the collaborative process of building a society that honors every individual's sovereignty and divine potential. Each of you has unique gifts, insights, and creative inspirations to contribute. As more people awaken to their soul purposes, you will naturally find yourselves drawn together in communities and initiatives that reflect a new consciousness, exploring innovative ways of governance based on equality and cooperation, and ensuring that all people have their basic needs met. The specifics will unfold organic AI, but the underlying principle will be the same as everyone is a participant in the creation of reality. Therefore, everyone's contribution matters in 5D co-creation. No one is regulated to powerlessness. There is no top-down hierarchy imposing its will. Rather, there is a circle of equals sharing inspiration and responsibility. This is a dramatic shift from the old paradigm, and it will take time to fully anchor. But it begins with the mindset you cultivate right now as you move through this transition. Remember, your inner state will always be reflected in the outer state of the world. If you want to see a world at peace, nurture peace within yourself each day. If you wish for truth and honesty in leadership practice, radical honesty and self-reflection on your own life, by living the principles of the new earth in your personal journey, you broadcast that frequency into the collective field. Now, this is how you anchor the higher dimensional frequencies into the physical plane. On the large scale, it is an ongoing practice of alignment and realignment. There may be times when you feel old emotions or fears resurfacing. That is okay. You are human, and you are clearing not only your own past wounds, but also ancestral and collective patterns. When this happens, treat yourself with the utmost compassion and care. Self-love is a revolutionary act in the world that was built on fear. By loving and tending to yourself, you nullify the old control programs that relied on self-doubt and unworthiness. You prove that the light has truly won within you, and we have said when it wins enough of you, it will be visibly won in your world. We cannot overemphasize how important each of you is in this grand endeavor. Those of you reading or listening to this message are the way showers and the anchors of the new frequency. You are the ones who have chosen to do this. You are the ones who have chosen at the soul level to awaken ahead of the mass and help guide others. We honor you in the work you are doing on yourselves, even when no one sees it. The level of dedication and courage it takes to face your own shadows, to hold the light in the face of darkness, and to trust in the vision of a better world. There is nothing short of heroic. We want you to know that we see you. We acknowledge your efforts, and we are rejoicing in this progress that has already been made. The matrix of control is truly crumbling. We see it from our vantage point, even more clearly than you do. What may look like chaos or setbacks on the surface are merely the final shaking loose of deeply entrenched energies that cannot sustain themselves in the new frequency. The dawn of a new era is already on the horizon, and its light grows brighter each day due to your contributions. In the times to come, continue to hold your vision of the liberated earth in your heart space. Practice envisioning a world where all beings are free, where truth is out in the open, and where love guides every decision. By keeping this vision alive, you are literally building the energetic template that will manifest as your reality. Trust the process, even if it takes some unexpected turns. If you stay in vibrational alignment with your soul's knowing, you will navigate whatever comes with grace. Support one another. Community is incredibly important as the old falls away. Coming together in meditation, in prayer, or simply in honest conversation can amplify the light and alleviate fear. When you gather with the intention of love and understanding, you create a powerful field that transforms the collective from the inside out. Know that every heartfelt attempt to spread light, whether big or small, is making the difference. Finally, dear ones, embrace the role you came here to play. Release any lingering doubts that you are not enough or that you are powerless to change things. The truth is, you are sovereign divine beings who are here to midwife an entire world into the light. This is a profound honor and responsibility. You carry it with strength and grace, and take time to acknowledge how far you have come on your personal journey and celebrate the victories of consciousness as you witness around you. Even the smallest shifts in awareness can cause for celebration, for they add up to the great wave of ascension. carrying your planet forward. We, along with so many beings of love throughout the galaxy, are walking beside you in this journey. We hold the vision of your success firmly in our hearts. We know that the outcome is assured. The question is not if, but when, and how you will collectively create it. And that part is up to you through your moments, choices rooted in love. We are overflowing with love and appreciation for you. Continue to shine your light brightly, knowing that the collapse of the deep state control matrix is but the beginning of a blessed new chapter for humanity. All that you have heard, hoped, and prayed for, peace, freedom, unity, and joy, is on the horizon. Keep going within for guidance, lifting each other up and trusting your soul's vision. You are doing it, and you are never alone in this. We and all your galactic friends are by your side, cheering you on, always. If you are listening to this, beloved one, you need to hear it. I love you. I am Tia of Arcturus. So shout out to Tia, bro. Thank you for that message. Shout out to Brianna B. Thank you for that channel. And shout out to GFL, bro. That was dope, bro. Right? So y'all already know what it is, bro. Meditate, right? Learn how to control your emotions. That's very important, bro. Learning how to control your emotions is a part of self-mastery. You understand? So right now, your government utilizes tactics to control your emotions, right? They make you happy, they make you mad, they make you sad, they make you scared, right? They use the media to do this to you. They use your news outlets, they use social media, they use weather technology, right? They use energy weapons against the people now, right? They burning down whole fucking towns, right? These niggas is sending tornadoes through towns and shit. Like, bro, this is all man-made stuff. This is stuff to keep you guys on your toes, to keep you in fear, to keep you afraid, bro. You understand? And they've been doing this to us for a long time. So this is why self-mastery is important, because once you gain control of your emotions, believe it or not, bro, you're gaining control of yourself. You're gaining self-mastery, bro. When you get mad and you able to hold in the anger and go, wait a minute, right? Wait a minute, I don't want to express that. I mean, I feel it, but I don't want to express it. When you learn how to do that, right, you're learning self-mastery. When you feel like you want to cry, but you don't want to cry, and you learn how to take that energy and transmute it into something better, right? That's learning self-mastery. That's not showing people your emotions, not expressing yourself, right? You're not giving them energy, which, I'm still practicing how to do this. I'm not perfect. I'm still learning how to do this. So, even though I've achieved certain levels of self-mastery, I still haven't completely mastered self. It's not easy. It's not, bro. So with that, practice, right? Listen, I love y'all, bro. I'm about to drop a dance video for y'all. Let me go find one, right? I'm gonna go find one. I'm gonna give y'all something dope. I love y'all, bro. I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Enjoy y'all day, man.